Hey, what's up, guys? Today I want to talk about the three most common beat up questions about hunting Africa on forums, Facebook pages, text groups, whatever. These are the three most beat up questions that I see. Hey, what's up, guys? Today I want to talk about the three most common beat up questions about hunting Africa on forums, Facebook pages, text groups, whatever. These are the three most beat up questions that I see with 1,000 different opinions, because everyone has an opinion on it. Everyone has different ways that it works, but I'm going to give you my opinion on the three most beat up topics, which is one, what gun to take to Africa, two, tipping, and three, shipping your animals back. And I probably need to swap two and three, because it goes what gun to take, how much is shipping back, and then tipping. That's typically how I see it go. So when it comes to what gun to take, I'm not like a ballistics nut. I'm trying to learn more about it, but for me, it's, I recently listened to a podcast, and it has nothing to do with ballistics or whatever, but I listened to a podcast with Joe Rogan and Remy Warren, and they were talking about shooting bows, like how some people hinge releases, tension releases, back tension, like they have all these different releases, and some people, if you use the old style, your wrist rocket, trigger finger one, a lot of people think that, it's bad, and Remy was talking like he used to just punch it super hard, but he would be super accurate. I mean, the results, maybe it's not great when you're doing the target, all the, 10 rings and stuff like that. Maybe it works for some people like Remy, but the results speak and how many animals the guy has taken, or anyone has taken, not just Remy, but it's the results speak for themselves. So everyone is different. Everyone has different opinions on things, and especially on the caliber thing, it's, I was recently reading a book. We were talking about calibers and whatnot for Africa, and the guy was saying, oh, I took a 6.5 over, and although it's a great caliber, I do realize that it wasn't exactly what I should have took to Africa. And I believe it's correct. There's all these new calibers, the 6.5 Creedmoors, 6 Creedmoors. I've owned one of those before. You have all these new, PRC bullets and all these new fancy bullets and whatnot that are in the lower caliber range. And a lot of people are starting to try to take those different places. And to me, it's the bigger is always better, first and foremost. Bigger is always better, to a certain point. We'll get to that in a second. But, your 7mm and your 30 calibers, like those have been tried and true bullets and calibers since the start of time. So you see a lot of people on questions and forums and stuff talking about, well, which gun do I take to Africa? Do I need to buy this new gun? Do I need to do this? And if you have a 30-06 that you're shooting whitetail deer with, that you're a tack driver with, that you enjoy shooting, you have it dialed in, take that to Africa. As long as you're not hunting the dangerous game with it, you can. I've taken a lot of different animals with a 30-06 in Africa. It packs, it's a lighter grain bullet, but you're still going to be packing a punch. It's all about shot placement first and foremost, but bigger is better. I've seen a lot of guys do a lot of stuff with 270s, 25-06s, over the years. It's all about shot placement, but again, if you can take a bigger caliber, packing a bigger punch, in the 30 caliber range, 300s, 7MMs even, like those guns pack a bigger punch than some of these smaller, more cool in the know calibers that you see these days across social media and forums. And you don't got to go buy a new rifle for every safari you go on or every hunt you go on. Recently, there was a gentleman that was talking about he's going to go on a Cape Buffalo hunt, um, and he shot a 375, and he said I was comfortable shooting it and enjoyed shooting it, but do I need something bigger? Is 375 too light? Well, the answer is no, because 375 meets the minimum requirement for all countries. And the thing is yes, bigger is always better. Take the 470s, the 500 Nitro Expresses. They're packed. Obviously, they're shooting a lot bigger grain bullet, packing more punch. But then there's the part of, okay, are you comfortable shooting it? Are you going to flinch on the first shot? Are you going to flinch on the second shot even more, like when it's more crucial on the Buffalo? Or are you going to even be able to get a second shot because of the recoil, because you can't handle it? So like there's different things that go involved. So a 375 is adequate for a lot of different stuff. And to me, at 375, this guy is going to go to Africa for his first Cape Buffalo hunt. Unless he plans on hunting Africa every year, hunting dangerous game every year, whether it's buffalo, hippos, elephants, whatever it is, he doesn't need to buy a bigger caliber in my eyes, because a 375 is a great caliber. People use a 375 for a lot of stuff. I just seen on a Facebook forum today a guy use a 375 Ruger for elk hunting. There's a lot of different uses towards that 375 that one can get. I took a 375 up brown bear hunting in Alaska. You can kind of go do a lot. It's more of a universal caliber. Distance wise, it's not, you're not shooting 500-600 yards with a 375, but it's a very universal caliber. And if you get solid, you can go shoot the smaller stuff in Africa with it. It's just a 375 is probably the most universal caliber that you can get for any type of hunting, whether it's plains game, dangerous game, hunting in North America. Obviously, you're going to be limited on shot, but that 375 you can use for anything. Like, it's minimum requirement for all dangerous game. You're shooting a 300 grain bullet on average. Like, you're really going to be packing that extra punch. Like I said, you can get solids for smaller stuff. A lot of people are using 375 these days for a lot of North America type hunts. And especially like if you're in bear country, it's a great gun to have with you. You're packing that 6.5 Creedmoor around and you're hunting elk up here in Wyoming and that grizzly bear comes after you, you're going to be wishing you had a little bit more firepower most time. Again, obviously the range factor is going to be in there, but to me you don't got to buy a rifle for every hunt. You don't got to have the latest and greatest rifles and calibers for these hunts. Have something that you can shoot well, whether that's your 270s, your 30-06s, your 7mm. If you're going on a plains game hunt, take the gun that you're most comfortable with and can shoot the best with. One that you're comfortable every time you can squeeze the trigger, reload it really quick, and get back on it for a second shot if needed. Same with anything for dangerous game. Have a rifle that's legally required minimum that you are comfortable with, because it's no fun when you're, I'm going to buy a 500 Nitro Express or 577, and you're out there and you're just getting pounded by it. Sure, a lot of these PHs have these bigger guns. That's their tool of the trade. They're not shooting them as much as you will shoot your gun on safari. And if they are, that's a bad thing. So they have these guns for stopping power. In case a dangerous situation happens, you don't got to match your PH by taking the biggest gun you can take. So take the gun that you're comfortable with, take the one that you can shoot the best, and take one that you like practicing with. Now, on these dangerous game hunts, it's not fun to shoot a 375 20 times a week. I suggest practicing with a smaller caliber, 22s, 17s, 223s, just smaller calibers that you can practice working the bolt, just practice your trigger squeeze, all that. But take a gun that you're comfortable with when you go on a safari. Don't overthink it. To me, 30-06, 7mm, 300s, and like the 30 Nosers or whatever these days, the 28 Nosers. These calibers are some of the best all-around calibers for Africa. Again, I mentioned 375 is a great all-around caliber. But take the gun that you're comfortable with. Take one that you enjoy shooting. I'm going to repeat that 100 times because people will seem to make it such a big ordeal when they're planning that hunt is, what gun do I need to take? This is mind-blowing. I've shot mule deer, I've shot whitetail, I've shot antelope, but I don't know which gun to use for an impala or a kudu. They're all relatively the same. Just have something you can shoot well, have a good performing bullet, and go enjoy your safari on that aspect. Secondly, let's talk about the shipping of trophies. I've talked about this before. I have a video talking about the broker part of it, why you need one. And so many people get caught up thinking they could do it themselves, and you can go back and watch this video. I'll put a link in the description. So many people get caught up thinking they can do it themselves, and in the end, it costs them a lot more time, money, and headache between trying to deal with permits. If you need some permits done for certain importation, you know, having the right place to send it to be, you know, cleared at customs for you to be able to go pick it up or shipped to your taxidermist. It just a lot of different stuff comes into play. I've seen buddies wait 5-6 months and acquire 5 and 6 months of storage fees at these places, and a lot of headache and heartache. And then one of them later on asked me to get him hooked up with my broker, and it was resolved within 4 or 5 days. So it's just one thing there that I'm going to point out. Get a broker. Get a good import broker for you, one that you can deal with, one that you can trust, and one that's reputable and known throughout the industry. There's several of them. I use D&L Custom House Brokers. The ladies there do a tremendous job and have worked well for me over the last 9 or 10 years. So next we're going to talk about, on the same subject, you have your shipping cost and your dip and pack cost. I've said this before. These are fees that you inquire after the safari, and it takes time, and they're going to be broken up between your dip and pack, your shipping, and your broker fees. It's not like, here's your bill for the final day of safari. Now here's an extra $2,500 for the next step. No, it's a timely process that you acquire over time. So it does give you time to save up. Dip and pack. I have a quote here that I've went over before for dip and pack, but this is for kudu, gemsbuck, impala, zebra, warthog. Obviously, zebra flat skin, warthog skull, impala skull, cape, and back skin, gemsbuck skull, cape, and back skin, kudu skull, cape, and back skin. Dip and pack on that is roughly $830. This is a quote I got in March off a price list I acquired through Splitting Image Taxidermy. They sent me the information over because they knew I was doing these videos. And then shipping costs. This is from Badger Cargo, which is also owned by Splitting Image within South Africa. For that same box of all that dip and pack that I just mentioned, the shipping is going to be around $650. And then broker fees, depend on time of the year, whatever, inflation rates, you're going to be $1,200 to $2,000, just depending. I know I see some astronomical quotes from people on these forums and stuff from other companies, and some companies I've never even heard of. So all in all, you're going to be $2,500 to $3,000 by the time that's done. But again, that's acquired over probably a year, maybe a little bit more, depending on, the time you go to Africa, the timing of the taxidermist in Africa receiving your trophies, so on and so forth. So keep that in mind. Keep that budgeted to the side, and know that it's not going to happen right after the safari, but keep in mind what the cost is. Talk to the broker beforehand. Get a quote from them. Talk to the taxidermist that your outfitter uses for their dip and pack and the shipping companies that they use. Sometimes they're not all within the same, but luckily within Split Image, it's kind of a one-stop shop process. Whether you want to do dip and pack, dip and pan, the taxidermy work, and then shipping it over, all kind of handles through one company, which is great. It helps out a lot. But there's many other companies that do the similar stuff within South Africa, or even Africa as a whole. They'll have different places that do it. So just keep in mind, it's not. People are like, oh, it costs more than the hunt. Well, if you're paying $2,300 for a hunt, I want to see what you did. Like, are you shooting things out of a small pen? What was the accommodations like? How many days were you there? Because you weren't there very long if you're only spending $2,300 and you shot all these trophies. That's just plain and simple. So to me, if you're going to go and you want the memories back, some people are going, I have several buddies that go over and they don't bring anything back. So they just shoot it, photos. Obviously the meat and stuff gets utilized, and then the capes and horns, I don't know what happens. Maybe the outfitters have been selling them and selling them to taxidermists, making some extra money. Who knows? But if you want to bring the stuff back, you're going to have to pay for it. It's plain simple. It's 2024. Everything costs money. Nothing's free. And these are memories. So you either pick getting the memories back in a timely manner, well taken care of, or you can gamble and do some stuff on your own. And I know people that have done great doing it on the occasional safari, not on every safari they go on or every trip. So I recommend getting a broker. That's just my first number one rule on it. Get a broker. Don't ask me for any of that advice on it. I'm just going to tell you to get a broker, because they do this for a living. They know the ins and outs between CITES, any sort of import permit for U.S. Fish and Wildlife regulations. They know it all. They know that is their job. It'd be like me asking the guy at the service shop that does oil changes or fixes something that, maybe not oil changes because a lot of people do it themselves, but maybe like replacing brakes and all this other stuff on a vehicle, if I just say, well, I got a buddy that says he can do it for a case of beer, I'll take it to him, but he's never done it before, type of deal. To me, just get someone that does it every day. These people do it every day. The guys that are working at the tire shops, they change tires every day. They're patching tires every day. It's the same setup. You pay them to fix your stuff. Pay these people to do the job that's what they're good at. That's why they have these companies. That's why they're around. So get a broker. It's not, you're shipping the animals back is not going to cost more than your hunt. And if people are saying that, they're going through a real weird process. They're getting scammed somewhere. Someone's charging them way more money than they should. Obviously, it's not free, but it's not going to be more than your hunt. And the next is tipping. Big subject. Again, everyone has their own opinion. I've done a full video on this as well. I'll add that in the description below. And I even have a free tipping guideline book that I'll put in the description for you as well. You get on there, you get it for free. It's a free ebook. You can download it, save it on your computer, save it on your phone, print it out, whatever you want to do. It's accessible that way. But it gives you a step-by-step process of how the tipping system works, who needs tipped, a rough guess on percentages that I think work good and what I've learned over my 30 international hunts. 16 of those are been in Africa. So this is what I've learned. And so I break it down on that video. I break down that ebook. So it's something you should check out. Again, everyone has their own opinions. And you can get on some of those forums and ask questions in all three of these subjects. Ask questions like this on these forums, and you could get bogged down with the amount of information to where it's like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this guy says this, but that guy says this guy says that, and this lady over here says this. You got to take everyone's stuff with a grain of salt. I'm not the end all be all. I don't know everything. Like, I'm just trying to put out the information that I've learned from all these trips. Like I said, 30 plus international trips, and I'm trying to share what I've learned, the mistakes I've made on it with all these videos to you guys. And so with these three topics, I'm just trying to answer the questions, and not have to beat the dead horse anymore, because I don't even comment very much anymore on these three questions, because it's like everyone has an opinion. Then it turns into an argument between the people commenting, and then the person that's sincerely asking the question doesn't get any value from it. The 40 different answers and the 30 different people yelling at each other saying, oh, you're wrong, I do this, I do that. Guys, just take things with a grain of salt. Take my stuff with a grain of salt. Just use them as tools and as resources to help you when planning that first and next safari. I hope this stuff does help you guys out. Again, check out my free content at simsafaris.com. I have the free safari planning ebook, the free tipping ebook. I have my free Safari 101 course, breaks down huntable country, species, packing videos. It gives you a lot of stuff, all the stuff that I've been learning over all these years of international hunting. It's all for free for you guys on there. Check it out. I hope these videos help you guys out. Stay tuned for Sunday. I'm dropping another one of my South Africa hunting videos. Actually, sorry. No, we're doing Tanzania. We've already finished South Africa. We're moving up to Tanzania. Dropping one of those videos on Sunday for you guys. Be a cool episode. This is from my old TV show, Youngblood, on the Outdoor Show, on the Outdoor Channel. So check that out. Subscribe to the channel. Share the stuff with a friend, whether you're listening on audio platforms or seeing it on YouTube. And guys, just remember, go have fun on safari. Don't overthink it. And don't weigh yourself down with all these information that you can get, because you can get analysis by paralysis. I've said it before. You can get so much information, you weigh yourself down. Remember, this is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to enjoy it. Go have fun on that first safari or that next safari. Send me an email, share some photos with me, and look forward to talking to you guys in the next video.